All right. Hello, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for being here today. Super excited to see all of you beautiful faces. I'm excited to go live with Cheyenne today. And before I introduce her, just wanted to introduce myself first. So my name is Rosie. I'm the calligrapher behind Wondercrafter, as well as the founder of the Craft Academy. We help calligraphers create, automate, and scale their calligraphy businesses based on your unique story and methodology and skill set. And ever since I started my business in 2017, I have made countless mistakes and have wasted so much time and energy and money trying to figure everything out for myself. So ever since then, I have worked really hard to niche everything down. And after working with some amazing brands like Dior and Ferrari, I'm actually on a mission to help calligraphy entrepreneurs avoid those same mistakes and accelerate their path to success. So I'm super excited to introduce today this incredible human being. Her name is Cheyenne, and she's the artist behind Simply Lettered Studio. She's actually used the Craft Academy methodology to transform her calligraphy business from making just a couple $100s on Etsy to having a full-fledged business where she's able to work with amazing brands like Coach, Kendra Scott, Gucci, Dior, Dillard, and even Patron. And she's even started her own monthly calligraphy subscription and has sold out multiple times. So safe to say she's not a tiny little Etsy shop anymore. So hello, Cheyenne.
Hi, everyone. I'm excited to be here.
Yes, we're excited to have you and hear your story. So tell us about your quick and dirty journey to entrepreneurship.
Yeah, so I'm Cheyenne, for those of you who don't know me. I was previously a full-time educator. I was a kindergarten teacher for several years. And then when I had my first child, I chose to stay at home with him all day. And then I quickly realized I needed to be busy and needed a creative outlet for myself. And so I started learning calligraphy. That was in 2017. And pretty quickly people were saying, hey, can you make this? Can you make this? And I caught that rush of entrepreneurship, and I've just been growing ever since then.
Oh, amazing. I love that it kind of started off as a hobby and really just something to get your mind off of like your new motherhood, right? Yeah. So it's amazing how it's transformed into a full-on business. So tell me what your specialty in calligraphy is right now.
So in my business, I love doing studio commissions. I do a lot of like long verse, traditional calligraphy, and engraving. And then I do live events and workshops. And then I've also started my monthly calligraphy subscription.
I'm super excited because I know a lot of people here have thought about doing subscriptions. I'm excited to kind of dive into that. I also have people who watch and like have never picked up a calligraphy pen in the first place. So I think this is going to be a really awesome resource for those people who want to kind of experiment and put themselves in a more, learn new skills and things like that. So tell me, just give me a quick summary of your timeline. Like, when did you join the Craft Academy and when did you start seeing results?
I joined a little over a year ago, early last year, a couple months in after I kind of went through and really figured out what I was doing. I started seeing results.
Okay, so you joined in February of 2022. Couple months in, you started to find those, just get a little bit closer and closer to some of your goals, right?
Right.
What was your favorite transformation in those months?
I think I had a pretty solid base. I was just missing some key pieces, which was what attracted me to TCA. And I think for me, really learning to value myself as an artist. So I wasn't, just doing stuff for free and whatnot anymore. And then also as a mom of 4 that's really busy, learning to value my time. So just the value of myself and my time, I think was a huge game changer for me.
Mm-hmm. And for anyone else who didn't catch that, she's a mom of 4 strapping young boys. So things are not easy for sure.
Yes.
What do you feel has been your secret to finding balance with having a full-on growing business and growing 4 young humans?
I'll just be completely honest. Every day is different. I have a 6-year-old and 3 3-year-olds. So it's a lot. Yesterday, 2 were sick, so I didn't get anything done until after they went to bed. So you really have to be flexible, but also there's no idle time. I'm not really sitting and scrolling, and I'm not really just doing casual things. When they're napping, I'm being productive. When they're in bed, it's when I do most of my work. So any spare time that I get, I'm working on growing my business.
Yeah. Do you feel like the time that you are spending in growing your business is actually fruitful though? Or like, do you feel like you have a structure to build that particular business?
Now that I have like a clear vision, whereas like previously I'd get like an hour or two and just do, I mean, who knows what. But now it's like I get an hour or two and I know exactly what I need to do and kind of prioritize my schedule. So like I got to do this, this, and this, you know, today, or like prioritize by list. So
yeah, that's super important. And I love that because I feel like, you know, with the Craft Academy, we really do give you all of the things that you need to build a business so that the time that you are spending in your business, it's actually fruitful and you're not just guessing and like, you know, maybe scrolling on Instagram and thinking like, oh, I need to do this so that I can grow my business, and then do that half-ass and then go to another thing. And, you know, you get really distracted sometimes if you don't have that structure. And I think the Craft Academy really provides that for you.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So let's talk about what your business looked like before the Craft Academy, just so that people can get a full, you know, full circle transformation. What was your daily life and work schedule looking like when you first started Simply Lettered Studio?
The schedule's always, I mean, kind of been the same, you know, when the kids nap or when they go to bed, I'm like working on growing my talents, learning new skills. Since I joined TCA, I think I'm just more like streamlined, more focused. I know like what tactical pieces I need to do to grow my business rather than sitting there like, oh, maybe I could send out a few emails here, or maybe I could do this. I really know exactly, you know, kids go to bed, I've got probably like 3 hours before I'm drained that I can work. So I know just exactly what I need to do in those 3 hours to be productive.
I love that. Okay. And then what was your average monthly calligraphy income looking like at that time?
When I first started, I mean, probably nothing really, but I'd say like maybe $200 after expenses and supplies and everything, maybe.
Okay. And then what were you first selling when you first started?
So I'm also into woodworking. And so I actually built like these beautiful handmade farmhouse wood signs and painted them. And like one of my best sellers were like wooden growth charts. So like 6-foot wooden boards. I think I sold them for like $45. And so I'd cut them and stain them and put frames on them. And I was probably making like 50 cents an hour.
Oh gosh.
But I mean, so like $40 for like a huge wooden sign that was handmade and hand painted. And I did start with like greeting cards and canvases. I've tried it all, but wood signs were like my kind of what I started really doing.
Yeah, I remember all the wood signs that you had in the very beginning when you first signed up. And I'm like, oh, that's so beautiful. But I wonder how much she's actually making from it. So after all of the cost of supplies and the labor and all that, how much do you think you were profiting?
Off of one sign, maybe like $5 or $10.
Okay. Not much, especially with how much time goes into it. Because it's not just like you buy a piece of wood from Home Depot and like letter on it. You have to like finish it and sand it and then paint it. And there's like time in between to like let it dry. So it's a lot of work for very little return. Exactly. What were your goals for your business at that time? What did you want your life to look like?
And when I first started, I mean, I didn't really have necessarily any long-term goals. I just was kind of like, this is a fun hobby. You know, if I can bring in a few extra dollars since I'm not working anymore, that would be awesome. I started doing like some craft fairs, and then I was like, oh yeah, a couple $100 from like one entire weekend at a craft fair. That's cool. And then I was like, that's not very cool. You know, so when I had my triplets in 2019, I think that kind of helped me focus on time. And it was like, okay, I need to like really decide if I want to do this as a business. Otherwise, I'm just wasting my time.
Yeah, you're taking a lot of time away from the kids, right? And those are the ones that have priority. So
yeah,
let's transition into how you heard about the Craft Academy. How did you hear about the program, and why did you decide to invest in yourself?
I heard about you through social media, Instagram, and I just was like following all the fun events you were doing, and I was like, I want to do that. And I wasn't seeing it in my area. I'm from Utah. And so I was like, okay, I want to do what she's doing. You know, I want to do live events. And I just thought it was a really cool thing. And I love the live events. So it was just, now that I had 4 kids, I was kind of able to take a day away if I wanted to do an event. And so that's what drew me to TCA.
Yeah. So one of the things that I feel like most people kind of hesitate in joining the Craft Academy is coming up with like excuses like, I'm from a really small town. Calligraphy is not really big here yet. This calligraphy is not really prevalent, and I don't think I can see that vision for myself. Did you kind of feel the same way being from Utah?
Yeah, I live like in the middle of the mountains. I live so far away from people. I guarantee I live in a smaller town than anybody. And so I knew that I'd be traveling for my events, but I knew that's what I would have to do, and I was okay with that. But I knew, like, after talking to you, I was like, okay, we can make this happen, even if I have to drive 2 hours this way or that way to get to an event. Let's make it happen.
I love it. So really just overcoming that and saying like, this is possible, instead of saying like, I don't know if this is going to, so I'm just not going to try. And I love that you took that initiative and was like, okay, I'm from a small town, but there are ways to make a living out of this. So, overcoming that small town mindset is so huge for you. And then what really set the course apart from like the other calligraphy business courses out there?
For me, I really loved the community you've built with it, and just a group of like artists doing the same thing who are willing to support and lift each other up. And then of course you as a coach who's been out there doing it and you're still doing it. And so you can give those tactical advice and firsthand experiences to help us out.
Finding a mentor who is doing the thing that you want to do and, living the life that you want to live. Like, that's so huge.
Yeah.
So let's fast forward through TCA. What were like the biggest changes that you made in your business since you started the program?
Definitely niching down, finding what I loved. And then, like you mentioned, I was on Etsy. So for me, it was really like shifting from a product-based business to a service-based business. And then doing the live events.
Yeah. Was that challenging for you, making that shift?
Yeah. Super challenging because like you're on Etsy and you want to like grow your shop. You got to think of all these new products to add and try and keep up with everybody. And so it was like, wait, so I'm going to take all of this away that I've been working on, and then just start offering service-based commissions. But it was a huge shift and it was a great shift.
Yeah. Cool. I love it. So tell us about some of the multiple forms of income that you have with your business.
I have several. So I do live events. I do studio in-house custom commissions. I teach workshops, and then I sell like my digital workbooks. I sell digital files, and I'm an affiliate for a few programs. And then my newest, biggest baby that I've just launched is my monthly subscriptions that I send out.
Yes. And we are about to dive into that, because to me, that is the coolest part about your business so far, is like having these like different adjustments. And I think one of the most important things to kind of take away from this interview is, especially if you're coming from a small town like Utah, it's so important to have multiple forms of income. And Cheyenne is really a master at that. She's an affiliate. She has digital products. She's got a lot of passive income coming in. So let's talk about the subscription. Honestly, one of the coolest and most unique experiences I've seen in a really long time. Why did you think about doing that? What was the thing that sparked your interest in it?
Thank you. So like you said, I'm small town and I can teach a few workshops here, but we just don't have a big population. And so I'd get a lot of messages like, oh my gosh, can you teach something online? I would come, but I can't travel to your spot. And then I also used to live in Oklahoma. So I had a lot of following from Oklahoma. We're like, oh, we missed your workshops. We want to learn more from you. And I was like, well, how can I reach everybody, at one time? And so I wanted to build an online course. But as I was researching, a lot of my followers and clients were talking about how they've already taken my courses, but they wanted to continue to practice and they wanted more, they just wanted more calligraphy and something to hold them accountable. So I was like, well, if it shows up in your mailbox with the supplies and a brand new lesson, that solves the problem of me teaching in-person workshops, and it solves the problem of holding you accountable. If it's in your mailbox, hopefully you'll at least open it and practice again. So that's where it started.
Yeah. And the monthly subscriptions that you have, it's not just based off of one particular piece of calligraphy, right? It's like all sorts of things. So tell us, because I know you've had it for about 3 months now. Tell us what was in those, like give us examples of what was in there.
Yeah. So every month you get a new tool, or like maybe 2 tools, a lesson and a hands-on project, and then a quote. So like the first month was brush pens. Actually, we did 2 months of brush pens. Last month we did a glass dip pen and ink. I'm getting ready to send out a flourishing box that has a pen holder and nibs. And then some of the things coming up, we have a watercolor lettering box. We have leather and paint pens. We have chalk markers coming up because these are all used in calligraphy, pointed pen, and just all the things, all the calligraphy things that you can think of.
Yeah, it's almost like, if you really want to experiment with calligraphy and you want to get more hands-on experience without having to go out to Michael's and buy it every single time or buy a bunch of supplies. For example, like I have my glass pens here too. I had to buy 8 glass pens to get one. And like I haven't even used it, I'll be honest. I've used it one time. So there's like 5 more just sitting there, like not doing anything. It's just for decoration purposes. So this is an awesome way to get supplies at a somewhat low cost, in addition to getting the lesson and actually using it and experimenting with some of the different parts of calligraphy without having to make a full financial commitment to it.
Yeah, exactly. And then the cool thing is I've tried all this calligraphy supplies. I've bought everything. And so in my boxes, I obviously just put the things that I know work and that I love and other calligraphers love. And so these are for beginning calligraphers who've never done it, and then also advanced calligraphers who want to practice or want to try a new tool. And then another really cool thing is that I wanted to celebrate and highlight other calligraphy artists. So every month I have a guest artist who helps choose the tools and helps create the lesson every month.
Yes. So you're building your own community. We're kind of like building this ripple effect of you inspiring other artists to, pick up a new calligraphy pen, in addition to highlighting some of the existing calligraphers in the industry already. So that is amazing. And Cheyenne has featured people not only in the Craft Academy, but people outside of it as well. And I'm super excited for where this is going to go. So tell us really quick, what's the financial obligation here?
There's a couple different options. Monthly, you can sign up monthly or biannually, which is the best still. But if you're not ready for annual, you can sign up monthly for $25.
Yeah, $25 is so cheap, you guys. Like I'm telling you, $25 is such a great starting price. Like that includes your tools, you have a YouTube video that comes along with it too. So it's a full-on tutorial, and you have a community, right? Tell us a little bit about that.
Everyone has access to the YouTube video. And then we have a private Facebook community for subscribers where I answer questions and do live videos in there and live demonstrations and just build each other up as we learn and practice calligraphy.
I love that. So how many subscribers do you have now?
I'm at about 20. My goal when I started was 5. I was like, well, I'm going to set my goal really low at 5. So I'm up to about 20, and then it goes to my subscribers first. That's the surest way to get it. And then if I have any left over, because I always make up extra, I list those on my site as one-time purchases. So if you snag a one-time purchase, you're really lucky. But I do list a handful after they go out to my subscribers every month.
Oh, amazing. So you have 4x your expectations. I guess what else do you have anything else you wanted to share about these subscriptions before we move on?
No, I think I think we shared everything. I love being able to highlight an artist every month. And then, so you're not just getting my lettering style, you get a lot of different styles. You get traditional calligraphy and modern calligraphy and watercolor lettering, all the things that are in the calligraphy world. And it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. What's also really cool about your business model right now too, is that you can actually do the things that you've always wanted to do. But we're kind of afraid of, squirrel syndrome and getting really distracted from the other, focuses of your business. I see you making watercolor pots now, which is super cool. I've seen so many of those videos.
Tell about that. Oh, I forgot to tell you. Okay. So exclusive to my subscribers, they get handmade watercolors every month or handmade inks to use with your calligraphy tools. So I just make up some really pretty shimmery colors that go in the subscription boxes every month.
Yeah, and it's so cool. I have always wanted to try that. I see the swirls all over the glass and stuff. And I'm like, I kind of want to do this and play with it, but I don't want to buy all the tools and stuff and experiment with all that. So now you can do it for me, and I can get all of those pieces without having to make a full-on commitment, which is again, super cool. Yeah. Congratulations on that. I'm super excited for your subscription. I know it's just going to grow every single month, especially with, where you're taking it. So I'm super happy for you.
Thank you so much.
Of course. So, let's kind of move to some tactical stuff and maybe get some solid numbers in here.
Okay.
I won't get too specific into the numbers, but what was your income in 2022 compared to the year before?
So actually 2020 and 2021, I had just invested so much into my business and wasn't doing a lot. So I didn't show any sort of profit those years. But in 2022, I 4x'd my revenue from the previous year. So 4 times my revenue. So I had a profit.
Yeah. So 4x the revenue compared to just $200 a month on Etsy. Like in that was that revenue or was that profit?
That was profit. So
okay, so pretty good idea about that. I think it's a little bit more than what you're estimating. I think you're being really modest, but I think you're on your way to 4xing it again this year, especially with the business model that you have now. So let's get into tactical advice because we love giving tactical information for anyone who is not in the program or hasn't invested in their business yet. So if you had to give one piece of tactical advice on growing your business, what would that be?
Not doing everything. When we first get started in a new hobby, it's like we want to try all the things. I mean, we all do that. We try everything, but we have to niche down at some point to really like hone in on our services. So for me, it was finding what you love and then marketing those things so that you could be profitable.
I know that for anyone who's watching, that probably sounds like it's much more easier said than done. So if we had to dig down a little bit deeper into that, what would you do? What would be like your first, exercise to niche down even further and make that decision a little bit easier?
Yeah, so I used your amazing worksheet, the niche down worksheet. And so I listed all the things I've ever done or was interested in, all the things that I've ever offered. And then just I pulled out like what pillars in my business I really wanted to focus on and what were profitable to me. So I pulled out 3 things to niche down on and provide those as services. And those were what sparked joy and allowed for profitability.
Yeah, passion and profitability. I love that. And for anyone who is watching and has not gotten the niche down worksheet yet, definitely sign up for my mailing list. And that is the first thing that you're going to get. It is amazing. And I promise you, it helps so, so much. I created that worksheet because I myself was also, doing everything for everyone. And after creating that worksheet and doing the exercise for myself, it made a huge difference in my business. So I really recommend going there and working that out for yourself. So you've done so many things, Cheyenne. You have had incredible, growth and experience now. Where do you see yourself going with your business and how is the Craft Academy helping you with that?
Yeah. So, we talked about the different revenue streams. And I wanted to point out really quickly, like I didn't add all that at once. Like I niched down first and really solidified those services. And then I slowly added in different revenue streams. Mm-hmm. Because if you add it all at once, then you're not niched down again, So I think I want to continue to build different revenue streams and grow my subscription box, and then continue paving the way for calligraphers and other artists in Utah. And I serve Colorado as well for live events. So live events and continuing to add different revenue streams with my subscription.
What advice would you give to someone who's thinking about potentially investing in themselves?
Just do it. I know for me, I'm like really an introvert and I just think you have to stop second guessing yourself and just do it. Just do it.
Yeah. Just do it.
Just have to do it.
Perfect. Second to that, since you are a calligrapher who's in somewhat of a small town, we consider you a pioneer in your area. So what would you tell a calligrapher who is similar to your situation, who's in an industry or area that calligraphy is not as big yet? What would you tell those pioneers who are looking to build their calligraphy business in a new area?
I think networking, like just network, like as much as you can. Whoever you think you shouldn't network with is probably who you should network with, because you never know who wants calligraphy, and all of a sudden you'll find someone in like your town, like a business owner, and they're like, oh my gosh, that's just what I need. Or there's other artists that aren't calligraphy artists, but maybe watercolor artists or different type of artists that you can connect with. Yeah, just get comfortable with being uncomfortable and just put yourself out there, because you never know who needs your service or who didn't realize they needed your service.
Oh, I love that. That's a beautiful answer. So network, 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 invest in yourself, just do it and really find your niche. So those are the three kind of tactical pieces of info to take away from today's interview. So this is the last question that I ask everyone. What would you tell yourself when you first started, knowing what you know now?
Yes, I would tell myself to just keep going. Rosie always says success is inevitable if you just keep going. And then polish your skill, be true to yourself, and value your worth.
Oh, I love it. Thank you so much, Cheyenne. That was a beautiful answer. I have known and mentored Cheyenne for just about a year, a little over a year now, which is crazy to think because I feel like I've known you forever. But I'm so proud of your growth and what you've experienced just working with these amazing brands and building the subscription and the multiple forms of income and really, building that financial wealth so you can actually support your family versus just making hobby money. Honestly, I'm so proud of you, Cheyenne.
Thank you so much. Couldn't have done it without you.
Oh, all right. And then for anyone else who is listening, and if this interview resonated with you, please definitely recommend you checking out the Craft Academy. It's a step-by-step coaching program that's going to help you go from 0 clients and just making a couple $100s or even having an expensive hobby to helping you work with your dream clients and build the business of your dreams. It's complete with all the templates for pitches, emails, brand decks, and contracts so you can help you, find your niche and build those multiple forms of income like Cheyenne did. With the transformation that Cheyenne has experienced, we're here to tell you that our methods work all over the world, no matter where you're at, even remote places like Utah. But definitely check out the Craft Academy if you guys haven't already. This is an amazing transformation. Book a call with me or my team. Just go to wandercrafter.com/apply and we can help you generate a little bit of extra income for your side hustle or grow into an amazing full-time hustle, just like Cheyenne did. Yes. So no matter what your business goals are, we want to connect with you. So please book a call with us or connect with us on social media. Last thing, Cheyenne, where can people find you and learn more about you?
I'm in all the places, whatever your favorite one is, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, whatever, at Simply Lettered Studio.
Perfect. And I will link that down below as well. Thank you to everyone who is here live. We appreciate you supporting us and listening to Cheyenne's story. She's just incredible. And I'm so excited for your growth.
Thank you so much.
Of course. And with that, we'll see you next time. Happy engraving, everybody.